Vela, I think that's the something to do.
Oh, I just started live streaming it now.
Yeah. My recommendation is you get him to go side on, because if you're side on, you've got more room to move your feet. So, and if you get it right behind me, it'll be like the natural. Oh, you got nothing in your way. So just, honestly, my suggestion would be, Vela, would be as close as you can behind us, side on.
Yeah.
Not head forward because it's too narrow. Sideways. So it's like I'm not being smart ass, but yeah, side on. Yeah, side on.
Yeah.
Get him up as close as you can to us because it'll cut down the angle so you can see the corner.
Bro, you can't come back as close as you can, Josh? Yeah, do I go side on or back?
Side on, Colin. Because it's the only way that you can. Yeah, so it's almost right up along, like behind my back.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it hits me, I'm all shit anyway. Is there any?
Damn, good driver.
Yeah, oh, he's expert.
Damn.
That's got to be better than ground level, Chief. Oh, except get him to go back a little. Can you get him to go forward that way a little? You know, so that your carriage is right over halfway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Colin, is there any chance you can go a bit further forward? Just so that where he's, can you make it so that there's right on half?
Tell him to stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Hope you fellas don't feel I'm interfering. I'm only trying to make it as good as I can.
Oh no, you're all good, dude. You're only helping us.
Oh shit. Thanks, Colin. Colin to the rescue. Is there anyone with...
I'm on you though.
Hey Maya, how are you?
Good, is it sorted?
Yeah, we're very grateful. Colin's helped us and he's put this here for us, and that should be really, really good for the boys. It would have been very hard to film it otherwise. It would have led to a drop in our standard. So it's a very good thing.
Okay, we'll make sure he doesn't miss any tries and stuff.
No, I swear to you, my man never misses tries. You've my word. Okay, wait. Wait. Well, you can't really dish the orders out when you're here to do it.
Hard.
Well, if it doesn't work, just say I was being a fat idiot.
Yeah.
An asshole. And it'll work though, it'll get you out of trouble.
I get in trouble anyway.
Yo, yeah, thank you.
Put this back up. Just in case you step off it.
Yeah, that's it.
I can do what I want. Oh, look at this cheeky bastard from Australia. Don't miss any tries this time. Shut up, boys.
Oh, what?
Say?
Yeah, thanks.
Top five.
Who do you think you are, mate?
Oh, Valen, do you want to drop?
I don't know.
He's offering some literally you can get everything.
Chips and everything.
Hot chops or?
Oh, yeah, hot chops.
Okay, so
You want to try this? Right.
send me what you want.
Alright. Thanks, son. Oh, Ben, do you want anything from the shop?
Oh, just whatever they've got, boss.
Sweet.
What do they have? Just chips in a pie or something?
Yeah. Can you see that properly?
Yeah, as well as we can. The most important thing is your fella's view.
Yeah, so Shannon's gonna put something to put up here. So
awesome.
Yeah, she's gonna do this.
Hey boy, how are you?
Yeah, yeah.
You shooting any hoops at the moment, Chef, or taking a break?
Still shooting. Still bricking.
We're listening to you live online now, so no swearing. Right. Right. This will be good. So we're live now?
Yeah, you're live now.
Hi there everybody, good afternoon. Rangai Productions live coverage, live stream of the Top of the Table Clash and Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby in this week 5. Top of the Table Clash, That's East Coast Farm Vets, Young Māori Party against Enterprise Cars, Old Boys Marist at Barry Park. 4 from 4, YMP, so too OBM. Waikohu, 2 from 4. Last all Ngarapa, 1 from 4. High School Old Boys, 1 from 4. Pirates looking for that first win. We have a couple of scores for you from Civil Project Solutions Senior 1 Rugby. Nuhaka 20-10, victors over YMP here at Barry Park, and OBM going down to a very good Ngarapa team today, 45-37 to Ngarapa out there at Paddy's Park. So 2 good Senior 1 results. The starting 15s for the 2 teams that you're going to see out here today. For Enterprise Cars OBM, 1-15, Lance Dixon, Ngaiwi Emmanuel, the Taste 1 MVP in week 2, Miles Lardeli Muatawa. Jacob Cook turns 28 today, his 28th birthday today, Jacob Cook. Harawira Kokura, his most accomplished locking partner. Blake Beard, Keanu Taumata, Ricky Tedekia, the number 8. Play anywhere in the pack, really. Captain Taste 1 MVP in week 1. Of the backs, Atu Naisa Rokatuiwe, halfback Tiaho Morris, Joe Tikasidre, Solomoni Rosari, George Hooper, Taste 1 MVP in week 4. Peter Vonawale and Braden Grant, the exceptional fullback for OBM. Of their reserves, wearing number 16 today, Justin Allen, his 50th cap, Jamie Barnett, Duran Smith, James Grogan, Jordan Christie, Jalatiko and Brian Faitiri White was on the bench. That great YMP team won last year's grand final. Justin Allen, a big day for him today, his 50th cap for OBM. He's been a fine servant of the club. For YMP, the champions, defending champions, Nair Papuni, Shade Scudder, the captain, Hayes Napier, a real hulk, tight head prop forward, Willis Tamatea, Jesse Rye, Isaiah Leach, Taste 1 MVP in week 1, Jesse Carpenter, the strongman, Stuart Leach, Silas Brown, Calvin Smith, Matt Rutene, Tepehi Fairley, Mitchell Purvis, Stephen Blake, Andrew Totavalu, Taste 1 MVP weeks 3 and 4. So he's been their most valuable player for the last 2 weeks. The reserves for Young Māori Party, Hohepa Harkopper, Rocky Monica, Jordan Birch, Seth London, Rawari Broughton, their MVP, Taste 1 MVP in week 2, Caleb Tefare and Theron Cox, Petatiaki. These 2 great clubs, well matched. YMP with 9 titles. OBM, of course, one of only 2 clubs ever to win 5 in a row. Fantastic effort, fantastic performance. Their playing records are distinguished as well. OBM, 46-12 victories over Pirates. Paddy's Park, 55-22. Victors over High School Old Boys, 36-22. Dispatched Waikohu, 24-5 beats Ngarapa. YMP so far this season, 59-3 against High School Old Boys, 26-7 against Waikohu, 49-10 against Ngarapa, 59-8 Pirates. Tobias Horsfield, these are the 2 top teams in the grade. These are the 2 best teams Poverty Bay Premier Rugby can put out. What are you looking forward to about this game?
Ben, when I heard that I was commentating this game with you, I was talking to our tutor, and what I was most excited about is both of these teams coming together and playing against each other once again. I think the last time I watched YMP and OBM play against each other was, I think, 2018, and oh my gosh, that game was just thrilling to watch. I think the score was like 22, but yeah, the score ended up being like 24-22 to YMP. But yeah, so excited for this game today. It's really going to be a thrill seeker for everyone. Well,
high quality players. The hero of the 2022 grand final for YMP, of course, Andrew Toa-Tavalu scored a try, kicked 2 conversions, kicked 2 penalties, and for the last 2 weeks he has been their number 1 man, their MVP. He's a very good player, Toa-Tavalu.
Yeah, Ben, and just watching him from the last 2 games that we've commentated for YMP, the energy from the crowd that they bring to when Andrew gets the ball is just amazing. And when you see him playing with the likes of Hayes and Theron and all of that, it's just it's really amazing to see what brotherhood brings up in YMP.
Oh, they certainly come together. They're probably the tightest club in terms of a unit, always have been. They're a very strong team in the last few years under Shade Scudder. The other premier games today, Pirates versus Waikohu. Over 1, Terry Reeves in charge of that. High School Old Boys versus Ngarapa. Earthworks High School Old Boys and Lasso Ngarapa. Oval 2 with Damien McPherson in charge. The quality of our referees, they're looking pretty good. They're doing a good job for us. Our match referee today, Ben Holt, 28-year-old mechanic. He's an old boy of Lindisfarne College. Really came back into the local scene on May the 14th last year. They gave him a big game to start with. They gave him Tudunga combined against Wairoa combined 26-24. You wouldn't call it a stroll. That was at Nuhaka Domain. Imagine that. Tudunga combined, Wairoa combined at Nuhaka Domain. That's a pretty fiery game to have to handle. But we're lucky to have these guys, these referees and assistant referees, Tobias. Where would we be without them?
Yeah, Ben, and that's just, it's amazing to see how much help and support that we have here in Poverty Bay Rugby. It's really amazing to see the likes of Ben and Joel and all of the rest of the refs and the team support and all of that. It's really awesome to see, and
Well, our assistant referees today, a couple of guys, Les Thomas. Les Thomas has just finished running around here in the Senior 1 game. That was Nuhaka's 20-10 win against YMP. And John Donnelly, who just finished running down the sideline. These guys are experienced referees. They're veteran officials. They're out here for the love of the game. They run the line, and when I say run the line, I really mean it. They're subject to Lord only knows what from the sideline. No, I say that in jest. The crowd behaviour this year has been very good. They appreciate the fact that these guys get out here and do the job that they do for rugby, the job that nobody else wants to do. And there's always room for a sense of humour and some fun out there. But a couple of good people too, Tobias, as captains. Now we mention it. Ricky Tetakia, captain of OBM, a very softly spoken guy. And Shade Scudder, who has done more to re-energise one club, and he's with YMP, than I've seen many men put into many clubs over the years. He's a fantastic captain. These guys, they set a great example for their people on and off the field. Ricky Tetakia, Shade Scudder.
Yeah, Ben, and just watching from last week's game, Ricky Tetakia, because they played Nightpool last week, that game when he just got heaps of offloads and runaways, and our man was just running up that field and just delivering big hits, and he just had the best game. And Shade, every time that we see Shade, I get excited.
Oh, he's tough. Colin, his father, was tough, very strong scrummaging prop, able to play anywhere in the front row, and this boy knows all the secrets, the dark arts of the scrum of talented people. Te Aho Morris, first 5 for OBM. Really impressed with his line kicking last week. He was very accurate, made skillful use of the breeze. Calvin Smith, first 5, former player coach of Waikohu. And Rawiri Broughton, who's going to be wearing 20 today for YMP, another former player coach of Waikohu. So there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience that both these teams can bring off the bench. And Justin Allen, of course, playing his 50th game today for OBM. Would that make you nervous, Tobias, if you knew that you were going to play a big game like that? It was partly your day.
Yeah, man, and that's what it's all about. It's going to be really, it has to be really amazing for the Bay to reach that sort of milestone for games as well, especially in Gisborne and Poverty Bay Rugby. It's really awesome to see, and it's going to be really nervous for the Bay to see if he can live up to it. But he's got it.
Oh, absolutely. Justin and Jody, a couple of my favourite characters. They were at Gisborne Boys High School. They're the coolest guys. They're huge, they're scary, obviously, but the sweetest boys, really. Incredibly strong. Jody was ferocious. Justin, very skillful, great ball handler. Great to see them still playing the game and playing it at a high level. Justin Allen, you'd have to go a long way to find a big guy as skillful as he is. And of the people around him, James Grogan, another very, very good rugby brain to come off the bench. Remember Jacob Cook, who turns 28 today. He's making his comeback this season from serious injury. So OBM with some people who have points to prove and some people who still love their rugby.
Yeah, Ben, and I can just tell from now, just from everyone that's just turning up to Berry Park now, it's going to be an awesome game. And how I can tell is the support and the crowd and the loudness and the support from everyone here at Berry Park is just going to be off the roof.
I'll tell you what though, you want excitement machines? I got a couple for you. Stuart Leach, Andrew Tautavalu. Tautavalu, magnificent. I've never seen a guy his size at fullback with the ability on his feet, with the skill, change direction. It's a big step. They have weapons. Te Pehi Fairley at second five, Rutene on the left wing, Stephen Blake on the right wing. This YMP team, they've been extremely good in the last few years. Last year they were very strong. This year they're strong again. But man, I think they've still got some more ability left to come. I still think they could take it up another notch or two. And man, look out when that happens.
Yeah, Ben, and in all honesty, that's going to be really, really scary when that happens. It really is.
It's going to be hard to stop.
Definitely.
Yeah. Superb atmosphere here. As we've said so often, the Gisborne Oval and also Barry Park in good condition this season. Magnificent attendance, crowd turnout, starting to see them come out in black and white. And when they're well supported, YMP, that's one of the things that inspires the team. Similar OBM, I remember in 1996 and 97, 96, the first season that the club was a going concern. OBM had big red, white and blue, big red, white and blue the following year. And a huge, a huge occasion. As we talk about occasions, our head of state is crowned today overseas. That makes it a doubly big occasion. But we are looking forward to this rugby union. Week 5 of Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby. The home these days to Barry Park and also Ngāuri and Maui in different spots of this wonderful thing, Toby, this initiative, this Courage Cup that the kids play in on Wednesday. They play games in the Courage Cup here and the kids love it on a Wednesday. It's huge.
Yeah, man, and when I was at school, I used to do that Courage Cup actually. And my little cousin Stone Jackson, they used to do Courage Cup. It's a really awesome, it's really awesome to do for Boys High also, to get amongst and get more boys out and out doing rugby and all of that.
Good people working hard for rugby.
Yeah.
OBM are on the field of play now. The red, white and blue. Out they came with Jacob Cook on the occasion of his 28th birthday. You'll get to see Justin Allen play his 50th game. The boys out there, Braden Grant, the fullback, fantastic youngster. Was a brilliant halfback, played well at fullback for Gisborne Boys High School and this OBM team. These are the two top dogs, if you will, both unbeaten. YMP unbeaten, top of the table. Clash with Enterprise Cars, OBM. That's Justin, you're never too important not to carry the bags or some other materials. They're relocating OBM going to the far side. Tobias, YMP, OBM, would you expect a really tough physical game?
All I can say from my perspective being it's going to be I hope it's not a really slow game, but I know it's going to be really tough for both teams to try and use all of these strategies that they have against each other. But it's going to be a really awesome game, I know that. Definitely when you've got Miles and Blake Beard playing and Hayes playing from YMP,
Ouch.
Andrew, Stuart Leach.
Doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Being in the middle of that lot. Good to get the voice working early. Hi everybody, live on YouTube. Ben O'Brien Leaf and Tobias Horsfield, Rangai Productions, our live coverage of week 5 of this incredible Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby from Barry Park in Gisborne live. Match referee is Ben Holt, 28-year-old mechanic, old boy of Lindisfarne College. Top of the table clash. 2 unbeaten teams, both have won 4 from 4. This incredible clash in prospect. Assistant referees, Mr. Les Thomas and Mr. John Donnelly. In the middle now, the ball being laid down as we await. It's a pretty big day of history.
Malata. Okay, you're Let's climbing up.
Moment of silence impeccably observed. Just to run through those teams for you one more time. YMP, Nehe Papuni, Shade Scudder, the captain, Hayes Napier, Willis Tamatea, Jesse Rye, Isaiah Leach, Jesse Carpenny, Stuart Leach, Silas Brown, Calvin Smith, Matt Rutene, Te Pehi Fairley, Mitchell Purvis, Stephen Blake, Andrew Toa Tavalu. For OBM, who will play from right to left of your screen, Lance Dixon, Au Emmanuel, Miles Ladeli Muatawa, Jacob Cook, Harueta Kokura, Blake Beard, Keanu Taumata, Ricky Tedekia, the captain, Atunaisa, Rokatuiwe, Tiahu Morris, Joe Tikasidre, Solomoni Rosari, George Hooper, Peter Wonawale, and Braden Grant. YMP will kick off from left to right of your screen. The towering figure of Andrew Tautavalu. Ben Holt, the unassuming Ben Holt. And kick off now. So YMP kick off. They go deep. OBM back in pursuit. Gave me Stephen Blake in 14, or rather Peter Bonawale in 14. OBM, that's Braden Grant, finding touch. Very important today, Tobias, for both teams to be accurate, as with that first kick.
Yeah, Ben, and it's just shown from the past 30 seconds it's going to be it's quite slow for both teams to start off with, but yeah, just as you were saying, all kicks are going to matter in this game.
Absolutely. Reminder to Justin Allen, get on there for his 50th game later on. Be a big thrill for him, as it is for Jacob Cook, turning 28 today. Shade Scudder about to throw the ball into play. YMP with the first throw, a key area of the game. Set piece dominance, what both these teams are looking for. Shade Scudder has Willis Tamatea, who'd be a good lift. Also Leach, that's Stuart Leach. Back there at 3, will it be Stuart Leach? Will it be Willis Tamatea? Okay, it's going to be Leach now. Willis Tamatea has it. Presents the ball. OBM there with a good pinch, good skills on the ground. So OBM get the ball off a turnover.
Oh, here's Tautavalu.
That's a high bounce, and that's up on Awale, hanging on
Nice
to
tackle.
Tautavalu. An accidental knee there from Ngahu Emmanuel. Ngahu Emmanuel rather accidentally got to Tautavalu. Blake Beard runs it up. Blake Beard hit very hard. Tremendous defence. OBM got the ball off a turnover. Now they've turned the ball over. Both teams have turned the ball over. That YMP line-out seemingly gone wrong, but they've got the ball again. Halfway, no score. First half of play, week 5. Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby live here on YouTube. You get to see it all. Under advantage here for OBM. Under advantage as we await referee halt. Back to Braden Grant with the left foot, the trusty left foot.
Oh,
Has him on the
good
turn here.
kick.
Good play by Braden Grant. They're going to run it back here, YMP. Tautavalu with his big boot. Now, he looked to be injured before. He certainly took a big knock. He was down here near the sideline. Through came Ngahi Emmanuel, hit him there on the back of the head by accident. Couple of knees in the back of the head by accident. Man, it looked tasty. No score. Tobias, how about that? The knees of Ngahi Emmanuel.
Yeah, Ben, just like that last minute, it was just, holy. Oh, you can tell that Andrew's definitely got his work cut up for him today.
I love that Ngahi. We coming through, tons of fun. So still no score. Barry Park. Rokatuiwe awaits, gets the ball, gets it away. Of course, playing with our first 5, Tiaho Morris, a loose ball situation. Here's Vonawale, good hands there, so muscular there, Vonawale. Down to the ground, YMP driving through. Good forward play here from YMP, but no. Penalised by referee Holt. Speaks softly, but carries a big stick. Referee Holt. Look at Lance Dixon there threatening mayhem. Go ahead and see him run with the ball. Tell you what, these guys are free range. They run wide. They're liberated. Finds touch there, Tiaho Morris. Lovely touch. A very skillful player, Tobias, Tiaho Morris.
Yeah, Ben. Just that was a beautiful kick. Just you could tell that OBM are not letting last week's game and all of the their kicks and their extra wasn't that good last week, but they're not letting that get to them this week.
Wale's so powerful. He's got muscles where you shouldn't have muscles. I mean, I see him coming down the sideline. Strong runner with the ball in hand. I'm impressed. Needs to get more of the ball. Needs good quality ball. That's what he needs. Okay, that was meant for Jacob Cook. YMP have it again. This line out. I'm not going to say it's a lottery, but it looks like being an interesting contest. OBM trying to get their hands on the ball. And was Calvin Smith with boot to ball. Big whistle there from referee Holt. OBM getting their march on, back over halfway. Love the enthusiasm I've seen from the likes of Jesse Rye. It was he that made that big run earlier. I miscalled it as Willis Tamatea was, and it was Jesse Rye. So his first touch of the ball, a very good touch. YMP now about to look for line Toa Tavalu. He is exciting. He's an exciting player to watch, Toa Tavalu. A special player. Watch the size of this boot. Watch this boot. Bang. Toa Tavalu goes long. Does he find touch?
Oh,
Toa Tavalu there.
nice catch.
Well, big build-up, but Toa
he's
Tavalu
Braden.
doesn't find touch. Braden Grant.
Oh, Silas Brown.
Nicely. Silas Brown, the halfback. Skillful player. What can you tell us about Silas, Tobias?
So I was actually fortunate enough to do Huckers Kapaka with Silas at Turangasani. And I was able to see him on the rugby field as well, but he's a very keen man, and he's willing to do anything to help his team. So yeah, he's really, really amazing at rugby.
Solid player. That was a kick by Calvin Smith. That was a brilliant piece of rugby by Calvin Smith.
Oh, nice.
Under a lot of pressure. Ball still in play. He got a tough pass down near the bootlaces. Got good boot to ball. Calvin Smith, and you know, he did that so easily, you'd have thought it was simple. No, nothing simple about that. Incredible. YMP now with a chance to apply pressure. That was that Miles? It looked like Miles.
That's Miles.
Looked like Miles, felt like Miles. It was Miles. OBM making their tackles at the moment. Still no score. Very flat OBM up in man, there's not much room to move in the modern game, is there? There really isn't much room to move. Back in the day, it's as if you had plenty of space. Another whistle here for OBM not releasing the ball. A call from referee Holt. YMP, a very dangerous team on the front foot.
Whoa, the pacing.
Very quick team, and try.
Try.
Did you get him there, Toby? Who did you see?
Who was that? I think that. Said Jesse?
Yes. Jesse Rye, the lock forward. Well, that really is a whirlwind effort from the YMP forwards. That's what that is. And really it came from a magnificent save a long time ago from Calvin Smith. He got a pretty rough ball down near his feet. He picked the ball up, made a long kick down towards the corner, put OBM under pressure from there, and then on the far sideline they reaped their reward. That is remarkable by YMP, and I suppose OBM will be wondering where that came from. It was 1 minute they were at halfway, but he did really well with the kick there, Tobias. He did really well with the kick, Calvin Smith. It was a tough pass.
Yeah, man, it was a really awesome kick, but yeah, big ups to Jesse because that was really amazing. Just you can tell that this past 8 minutes of the game has been all YMP. Like they're blowing over, they're making the breaks. Their defense is awesome. Not saying that OBM's isn't as well, but YMP is showing that this is their game as of now.
Okay, that's Toa Tavalu there with a conversion attempt, and Toa Tavalu with a marvellous kick from the far sideline for 7 points to 0. Just while we've got a moment to update you on the Senior 1 scores earlier today, Nuhaka 20-10 against YMP here on this very ground, and Ngarapa 45-37 over OBM in Senior 1 rugby. 2 good games of rugby. Speaking of a gruesome twosome, a couple of real strong warriors out here. Lance Dixon and Jacob Cook. Miles Lardelli, Muataiwa. Next to them made a big tackle earlier, but YMP withstood the big hit. Leach comes running back hard.
Oh.
Carries the ball aggressively. That's one of the features of his play. Now they're in a little bit of trouble, and I've been impressed so far with referee Holt's position. He has kept up with play and the pace of the game at the moment. It's being played at a reasonably quick pace in the right place at the right time. Crowd here, they've barely had time to sit down, let alone charge their glasses. 7-0, Toa Tuvalu with a wonderful conversion from the far sideline. There aren't too many things that Toa Tuvalu can't do. OBM now, set scrum. 7-0, Young Māori Party. Enterprise Cars OBM. Being keenly watched by the president of Poverty Bay Rugby, Tom Crosby, an OBM man. Okay, that's a tough pass. Don't let Toa Tuvalu get anywhere near it. OBM, they might not know it, but gee, you don't want to let Toa Tuvalu get anywhere near it. I can't imagine there's anyone on the field that could run him down from behind.
Close on.
No, like casting stones at the ocean. Braden Grant back there, fullback in his own right, a very good young fullback, tremendously gutsy. He'd come after Andrew. Handling errors, going to be very important for these teams. These are the 2 top teams in Premier Rugby. The 2 unbeaten teams, 5 weeks into the competition. Been well run, well attended. Good vibe here today. More boot to ball over the head of Wonawale. The ball takes a bounce. Wonawale looks a little uncomfortable to me. Just that the right leg looks like he's favouring it. At the moment, score of 7-0. Tell you what, it's not a bad thing, is it, Tobias? When not only can you score tries, but you know that you've got a reasonable chance of the conversion going from the sideline, which they have. Ngahiwi Manuel, good thrower of the ball. Harawira Kaukura's a real weapon at the line out. Jacob Cook, it's Harawira Kaukura, great take. He is very strong in the air.
Oh.
OBM are going to encounter stern resistance in the midfield. YMP hit hard. They pride themselves on
Miles.
it. Miles!
Oh.
No bigger man in Poverty Bay Rugby. Well, these days, once upon a time, there was one that was 50 kgs bigger than him. Here come OBM.
Oh.
Did the ball go forward? Wonawale and Ben Holt. Those are those line ball decisions. But again, you can live with that because Mr. Holt is keeping up with play. And if the referee keeps up with play, well, you've just got to take that. As I said, they're 30 metres behind. You've got to scope to grizzle. Harawira Kaukura, I was impressed by his last take at the line out, Tobias. See him soar there?
Yeah, Ben.
Miles Lardelli Muir Tawa. He need not soar, but he is very strong. Scrum anchor. Ricky Tedekia, back there, number 8. Scrum to be fed by Silas. Tall boy Silas. Look at Blake Beard over here, number 6. The look of a Viking. 7-0. Gotta love your rugby. Love your rugby. Miles Lardelli Muatawa. Gonna try and put the squeeze on YMP here. These guys got hands that big, Tobias, big as your chest.
Yeah, Ben, I wouldn't want to be in that front row going up against Miles.
No. Need to have your sense of humour. Okay, Silas Brown waits to clear. Silas, put the ball up. YMP, the pass a little high there, but they continue. Young man's going to get better and better. Kaukura there made the tackle. No, that wasn't. That was Ricky Tedekia took a knock to the head.
Ooh.
Or no, actually Rokatuiwe, I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's a shades cut of the captain. The captain's captain. YMP with a little bit of ball here, leading by 7 points, scores 7-0. Shade Scudder running the ball back in very determined fashion. YMP, Poverty Bay Club Rugby in a healthy state at the moment, I think. These are the two top teams. They're playing the game at a good level. That was Toa Tuvalu finding touch. Both these teams, they've got it all, Tobias. They've got some pace, they've got power, they've got some height. There's not much that these two teams don't have.
Yeah, Ben, and it's been a really fast 15 minutes of this game. OBM's defence is really something. They're giving away penalties, but they're showing that they're still in this game. They've still got a whole half to go as well.
We haven't talked so far much about the defence in this game. Nice take there by Leach. Wonderful hands. Very good forward in the air. Good line out forward. YMP with a good platform here. They can build off this. They're driving to the right. YMP, OBM being perused by Holt. Keeps a close eye on things. At the moment, 7-0. Okay, Brown there with a long pass, a tough one. Penalty now, YMP. So he played advantage there, Mr. Holt. Everybody knew what was going on, signalling to OBM that he would have preferred that their players roll away from that contact area. 7-0. This is some good hard rugby. This is rugby at the top end of the scale, to be honest. You know, if you're watching 1v2, both these teams are battling about who should be 1 and who should be 2. OBM's won a lot of silverware so far this season. Not so YMP, but they don't need it. They're at the top of the tree. Everybody else is trying to knock them off. The defending champions, they have the silverware that counts the most, Tobias. They have the Lee Brothers Shield.
Yeah, man, and it's really awesome to see both teams going at it, especially when they're two of the top teams in this competition.
Have you enjoyed what you've seen so far?
Yeah, Ben. Oh, that was very unlucky from Stewart.
Well, you know what? Again, we don't often say this, but you've got to give a little bit of praise to referee Holt here. He was in good position. Remember that Leach had gone down the blind side, and a less vigilant referee might not have picked that up. He picked it up, referee Holt. His position has been very good so far, I think. OBM now, and a little bit of pressure is relieved for OBM. They now have the scrum feed. They'll be happy about that. That was a little bit of pressure that they didn't want. Good scrum, actually, defensively from OBM. 7-0. Rokatuiwe and OBM. Can't criticise that. You couldn't say that they're being conservative in their own 22. Need to get play back up towards halfway. We've only had 7 points scored. And I tell you what, either of these teams could have put 15 or 20 points on somebody else at the same stage. The tackling, they've hit hard. A couple of accidental knees. It's all part of the fun. Silas Brown, halfback. Tall youngster with a bright future. Manuel at the back of the line out. YMP, it's Leach again, and one against the throw by Harawira Kaukura. He did really well there to win that line out against the throw. OBM going to run a little. And penalty now, YMP, Ben Holt. There in the 22, awards YMP the penalty. Tapped by Silas Brown, long pass coming again. YMP, remember, lead by 7 points. They have the only points in the game, converted try.
Hayes.
There's that big Hayes Napier. The stuff nightmares are made of. Comes to running at you with the ball. Very powerful. Penalty OBM. What did they do wrong there, YMP? Okay, they didn't release the ball. Referee Holt. There again, look at that. The signals are clear. Running a tight ship, referee Holt. Early stages, 7-0. Tobias, I don't know about anybody else, but I see rugby, it's almost like I'm caged up all week. I can't wait to get here and enthuse. You've got to love your rugby.
Yeah, Ben, and it's the time, for me, it's the time of the week that I just get all my energy out. Because I'm not used to doing any of this, but yeah, Saturday's definitely the day for me, Ben.
Couldn't wait. I got up this morning, went for a run, readied myself for rugby. 7-0, YMP. Throw to Kamgahiwi Manuel. Now, Kaukura's a good line out forward. So too is Jacob Cook. Interested spectators over there include, I think, the Poverty Bay, well, formerly the Poverty Bay head coach, these days a resource coach. I think I can see Tom Ken's over there, Rokatui way. Over there to Miles. Miles bumper boats with Miles. That's Blake Beard. Blake Beard now awarded the penalty. I thought for a moment, a wicked moment, as if I thought he might have fallen on the wrong side, but that's not the case. What's referee Holt saying here to Shade Scudder? Did you see those guys come and hit Miles? It's as if they tried to burrow into Miles, as if Miles was something you could burrow into.
Miles is going to be a target, Ben.
Mitchell Purvis telling his man over here, Stephen Blake, to watch the line. Purvis, a very experienced player of quality. Stephen Blake there. Tautavalu, good position. Tautavalu, what? You don't even have to be near him to miss the tackle. See that there? Tautavalu 3 metres away and the man missed the tackle. Now penalty here, OBM, at halfway, and the crowd oohs and ahs and all that, as is their want. How about that? Tautavalu, I swear, the would-be tackler was 3 metres away from him when he fell, grasping. 7-0. Solomone Rosari. Wouldn't want to be caught by Solomone Rosari.
Hey, can you get your names right?
Hey, I've got my names.
That was Izzy Leach before.
See that there?
But it was Izzy
That
Leach
there
before.
from the coaches.
Hey, it was
Got that there from the coaches.
Hey, it was Izzy before we made that. It wasn't Shady.
Well, we've got coaches here.
You called Shady, but it was Izzy.
What's that? Ladies and gentlemen, local oddball, name of Paul Rickard. We do look after him. He's been let out today. Fresh water. At the moment, 7-0. We await, well, this is taking a little while. Referee Holt. Possession stakes favour YMP. They've definitely had the better of field position. Okay, OBM now receive a penalty. That's Silas Brown. Intertwined there momentarily with Rokatuiwe. Good effort by OBM there at the scrum.
Few words ahead from both teams.
Both these teams will consider that a very important area, very important part of the game, that set piece scrummage. 7-0. We have the colour of the locals, a little bit of local colour. Wasn't exactly E equals MC squared, but that's okay. Wasn't exactly to be or not to be either. So 7-0. Kaukura. OBM at the line out. Going well at the line out. Here's Morris. Morris holds the ball. Good strong stuff. That was Solomone Rosari. Hit very, very hard.
Hayes.
Hayes Napier.
That was a big hit.
The big guy is out there and he plays hard competitive rugby. Truth is, a little chap lines you up and hits you in the right place, can bring you down. Somebody like Hayes hits you in the right place, you feel it for days. 7-0. It's pretty hard. Blake Beard watching on. Played very well last week, George Hooper. From memory was second five last week, Tobias, and this week is at centre. He was pretty good value. Was the Taste 1 MVP last week. Tautavalu too, while we mention it, he's been their MVP for the 2 weeks in a row, Andrew Tautavalu. So he's not just a good player, he's having a very good season. You're only as good as your last performance in some ways.
We just have about 23 minutes in this game then. Score still 7-0 to YMP.
YMP with one try in 23 minutes, but they are a dangerous outfit, a hell of a lot more dangerous than just one try. Morris has the ball. Okay, that's George
Oh,
Hooper. Was caught there and
Stuart
hit hard
Leach.
by Leach and went down in a heap.
That's not
And
a penalty.
the penalty, that was a strong tackle. Hooper is a player of note. He's a very capable player, and that's exactly why YMP lined him up and hit him very hard. Still 7-0. No cards have been issued. Still have 30 people on the park. YMP, of course, will retain the throw for the penalty. 7-0. You know, Barry Park, I'm going to say it again, Tobias, I've said it before, it looks as good today and it's looked as good this season as I've seen it for a long time, Barry Park. It looks really good.
Yeah, then I think last time I was actually down here before I actually started all of this was actually, Boys High Courage Cup. And yeah, just from then it's looking better than ever.
Oh yeah, look, a two-way Blackbeard.
Oh.
Really brave there, Blackbeard, going over halfway. That's Ngahiwi Manuel, who's another big bopper. Got to halfway and over it, then was pushed back over halfway.
Oh.
OBM literally throwing bodies at it, which is what you've got to do. Make an impression on YMP. Boot to ball from Tiaho Morris. Toa Tavalu in good position. He puts boot to ball.
Yeah.
Has him on the turn here. OBM now to counter-attack. Ricky Tedekia, the OBM captain. Red, white and blue captain. Ricky Tedekia turning back to the right. Ricky Tedekia did tremendously well. The OBM captain with a really, inspirational play there. Good run. OBM down the middle. Trucking hard to try and get over halfway. It's not easy. It's tough at the top. And this is the top of the table clash. Left foot kick there from Braden Grant. Doesn't find touch. Hasn't trying to turn him around. Try and turn YMP around is not easy at the moment. They're full of fire. They're full of fight. The feisty YMP. 7-0 under advantage. They have the ball. Advantage being played here by referee Holt.
And that's another penalty to YMP.
One of the things I'm appreciating at the moment from referee Holt is signals are clear. You know what's going on. There are some I've enjoyed over the years that, to be honest, I had no idea what they'd ruled, but they're part of the furniture. Brilliant stuff. 7-0. Seen a lot of rugby played. Only one try has been scored, but it's been good rugby. It's been exciting rugby, hard rugby, but only one try so far. And ball to be thrown. This is taking a while. Okay, ball on the YMP side. YMP doing well there to clean up. That was a little bit scrappy, but they cleaned it up. YMP now shade Scudder. Scudder getting away from Morris, going down the middle. Another good run, second really strong run from the YMP captain in the first half. One or two tough passes, overhead passes. YMP just wanting on that last link in the chain. Stuart Leach.
Miles.
Wants to be involved in everything, doesn't he? The big tight head for OBM. Tell you what, you got to go up to meet these guys, YMP. There's not a lot of point waiting for them. YMP making good ground, ball in hand, Blakebeard tackle. The word brave always comes to mind when you think of Blakebeard. It's a long pass there by Calvin. Stuart Leach. Ball with two hands too, I like that. Doesn't need the ball tucked under one arm to fend somebody off. Hold it in two hands, pass both ways. Good play here from YMP. Front foot ball. It's the only sort worth having. How about that from the captain there? Here they come. OBM on the chase here. OBM on the chase. And that there was Peter Vonowale. That's what you call commitment. Sometimes you don't have time to think. Who pauses to think is lost. Yeah, here we man, look at him chugging over here. I love it. These front row forwards. Look at Miles Ambles into position. 7-0, one try, one conversion. Throw to come from Manuel. Kaukuta, a joy to watch at the Hayes. And that was Rokatuiwe evading their Hayes Napier. Morris.
Tedekia again.
Tedekia doesn't shirk a tackle either. He takes his lickings. YMP coming through in defence, making some hard tackles here. This has been a really neat first half to watch. Exciting. Where is Toa Tavalu? Picks it up on the bounce. Picks it up on the bounce and he scores a try the type that only Toa Tavalu can put on. And man, did he motor. And again, you know, to repeat ourselves now, 12 points to 0. The skills, the ball skills, and the athleticism of the big guy are something else. A lot of big guys, you know, they're all left feet, not Toa Tavalu. And that's amazing. That happened at speed too. Wasn't that slow motion thing? Man, 12 points to 0. And to top it all off, he's going to take the shot. I love it. 12-0. Trying a conversion for Toa Tavalu today. Remember that incredible grand final a couple of years ago where, as I said, scored a try, kicked 2 conversions, kicked 2 penalties. History repeating itself. Even this early in the season, week 5, Ben Holt, yeah, he'd be sucking in the big ones. There was some water there for referee Holt. Had to tip that bottle a long way up. Toa Tavalu too should have no problem in terms of distance with a kick. 12 points to 0. But again, you make the point, it's 12-0 at the moment, 2 tries to none for YMP, but other opposition might have conceded 3 or 4 tries by this stage. That's the fact of it. They can play the game up tempo, play a power game to YMP. Shot to come. Toa Tavalu there with some height as it swings back. Does he get it to come back enough? No. Well, the touchies looked at each other for a moment there. The Messrs. Thomas and Donnelly. And what they haven't seen in rugby isn't worth seeing. Given long service to the game. That was an inquiring look from assistant referee Thomas. AR1 Thomas did glance over at his fellow assistant referee just to make sure that they're on top of it. 12-0. Tobias Wild. Hayes Napier in midair. Hayes Napier there getting up. You enjoying this, Tobias? Wild made a strong start.
Him then.
Look at that leech there running into. That's a sofa-like shot there from Miles Lardeli Muatawa. Calvin Smith with good height on the kick.
There.
Well placed. Braden
Grant.
Communication is good. Braden Grant light on his feet.
Hayes
Push
again.
back there. Hayes making a difference in this game in general play. That's Jacob Cook. Big guy. Well, no. 10 metres. March them back 10 metres. OBM tap and run. Ricky Tedekir, the prince of the tap and go. Ricky Tedekir has caught so many teams out over the years just like that. You can't afford to let him run. You got to react. Miles! Miles! Big guy. Yeah, he did. He did. Well, that's penalty there, YMP. Miles Lardeli Muatawa. Much ado about nothing. The moment 12-0.
That was just awesome defence on YMP then, especially Stuart Leach.
Your chest would be heaving, your cheeks would be red, as indeed they are. 12-0. OBM came hard there. Nothing like the local colour, Tobias.
Yeah, fucking tackle him now.
What we used to call dinner and a show. 12-0. Miles Lardeli Muatawa, he's been, you know, he's played a lot of rugby in this first half. He's still getting around. Played all 80. Okay, well, where was he going there? He's heading out to the backs. Okay, Keanu Tomato, is he the subject of the lift? Going to compete there. Okay, and OBM trying to come through on the YMP ball. That was Jesse Carpenter.
Kiki, get him, dog.
Blake Baird about to help his man up. Ngahiwi Manuel. His big front row forwards for OBM would be feeling the pinch. It's warm. Ngahiwi Manuel.
Get him, man.
In between Lance Dixon and Lardeli Muatawa. Rokotuiwe talking to Morris and also has Solomone Rosari outside him. Rosari has looked as if he could make an impact here, but he hasn't had so much ball. 12-0. Okay, here's Morris into the midfield.
Oh, nice
hands there by Hooper. Hooper looks like a good solid player to buy. It's not necessarily flashy, but solid.
Oh!
Fucking football! Fucking football! Fucking give it to him, babe!
It's good rugby today here at Barry Park. 5 weeks into this Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby. It's been exciting stuff. Only 2 tries in it so far, but very good tries. Blake Beard.
Come on, Napier, boy!
Ngahiwi Manuel.
I'll fucking give it to you, man.
12 points to 0. Hayes Napier's involvement has impressed me too, Tobias. He's gotten around. He has gotten around the field.
Yeah, Ben Hayes he's been all over this place this whole game. He's been delivering big hits and definitely want to see some more from him.
Perfect,
Go, bang!
perfect build for a prop.
Let's go, brothers!
He stays in the game. He continues to learn.
Into it, bang!
This is Silas Brown about to feed the scrum.
Hold it! Hold it, brother!
I don't believe in guessing as to whose fault these things are. But by this time, okay, referee hold. I think that's a very positive move. He's changed sides,
Easy, Black!
and I think
Easy, Black!
that's a good thing for him to change sides, get a better view of what's going on. Obviously, the problem exists on this side. 12-0.
Take it easy, man! Fucking hell!
Silas Brown. Okay, Silas, blindside.
Oh, Silas again.
Good running here. Silas Brown looking for someone to pass to. I think he's waiting for Toa Tavalu. Toa Tavalu appeared a little later. Okay, now that's penalty, Young Māori Party.
That's us! That's us!
Wants the ball here. That's Te Pehe Fairley, second 5/8. You know, everywhere you look here, there are some tremendous players. Te Pehe Fairley, second 5/8 for YMP, another fantastic player.
Hurry up!
We're enjoying our rugby here today, and one of the things about rugby is that there's always room for all sorts. Mum, Dad, all the kids.
Don't fucking do it all day. Give it to them.
There's as much room for the banker as there is anyone else. And so at the moment, 12 points to 0. Silas Brown, I think he's got a future. He's a tall boy for a halfback.
Give it a wipe and kicked off.
Hayes Napier at the back of the... Look at him at the back of the line out there. He's a big beast. Next to him, I think that's Ngahiwi at the back. Okay, this is that's fantastic take there. Okay, nice hands. Is that Calvin Smith? Lovely rugby here. The footwork, tremendous pass. Okay, 3 tries. And now 17 points to 0. YMP there with sleight of hand. You've seen the power game played by YMP, and now...
Stephen Blake.
Yeah, light on his feet, got a great pass. Some tremendous rugby. It's possible even in a situation like this to be distracted. I must admit, Tobias, my attention had been taken up in by other things. But of course, what's happening on the field is most important. 17 points to 0. Toa Tavalu. Tell you what, there's always going to be room in the game for skill, for footwork, for balance, and a lovely pass. Yes, in some ways the game is a little more now these days, like rugby league, than it used to be, but there's always going to be room for the guy that's a stepper, skillful stepper. And as I said before, crowd well attended. Has been a wonderful game today. It's drawn the finest people. 17 points to 0. Toa Tavalu, once upon a time, you know, pink boots would have been an outrage. Here's Toa Tavalu there, takes the shot. A little away. Well, no, hey, hang on a second. Okay, that's been ruled to be there. 19 points to 0. And that's one of the things that makes officiating easier when there are 3 of you, of course. You know, with 3 guys, you can't possibly get it wrong. So 19 points to 0 at the moment. 19 points to 0.
There's literally just a minute left on this half, Ben.
19-0. YMP, big leaders. For a long time, it was 7-0. So that Jesse Carpenter fell awkwardly. God, the way these guys fall with their heads forward these days, it just looks so dangerous. Good run there by Leach. YMP, and that's Calvin Smith there with boots of ball. Braden Grant in sensational position. The outstanding youngster with the ball in hand. Chip there, left foot chip. It's a shallow kick. Comes forward. Makes the tackle. Hit the ground hard. Penalty now, YMP. Now it's is it within the bounds of possibility for him to take a shot here, Toa Tavalu? 19-0, 3 tries, 2 conversions. Is he going to take the shot or kick for line? He's going to kick for line. Toa Tavalu there.
Nice kick.
19 points to 0. Harawira Kokura, I've been impressed by him at the line out. This, of course, is going to remain a YMP throw, of course. Shade Scudder's a good thrower of the ball. Leach is great in the air. Just about everything is running pretty well for YMP at the moment. They're well organised. OBM 19 points to 0.
Oh, no.
Down at the moment. Okay, the ball, well, whether it went forward or not, penalty's been issued here by referee Holt. 19 to 0.
Oh.
Okay, I heard another whistle. Sometimes players can get a little confused about which is the whistle to start and which is the whistle to stop. Because if you don't blow one at the time, first one you blow is for stop. Shade's got a 19-0, a dream start here in the first half for the defending champions, Lee Brothers Shield holders. Okay, well, am I seeing things, Tobias? I thought I saw him signal penalty YMP.
That's what I thought.
Oh. Makers of manners. That's just fine. Shane Scudder to throw. Watch for Leach. What happened in the line out there? Nothing happened in the line out. That line out just wasn't functional. 19-0.
What have you thought about this half so far then?
Well, I'll tell you what I thought about that last line out, Tobias. He thought that so-and-so was going to catch it. So-and-so thought he was supposed to be lifted. And the third guy thought he was a lifter, but didn't lift. So not much happened really. That last line out, Blackbeard.
Come on, lads, come watch you, mate. Come watch you.
Lineouts can be awfully complicated. 19-0. 3 splendid tries. I got to say, in terms of a heart stopper, the try from Toa Tavalu, the second one, that blew my mind. Ben Holt, referee. Leach at the back, just taking stock, taking it all in. 2 pretty clever back lines. Morris has had a pretty good game so far for OBM. OBM have the ball now, the red, white and blue on attack over halfway. What's happened here? Okay, tight head. Well, YMP are finishing this second half strongly. They are finishing it like a house on fire. Well, that's Toa Tavalu.
He got there.
And Toa Tavalu got that. Toa Tavalu, at the moment, almost hand of God stuff. Unbelievable. So, again, now 24 points to 0, 2 tries, Toa Tavalu. You know, when it's your day, it's your day. Most assuredly, I can tell you this, when it's not, it's not. But certainly, YMP at the moment, whatever they touch, it's the Midas touch. Toa Tavalu, a couple, 24 points to 0.
Yeah, Ben, what a way this plays out the half as well, too.
This is something else. You know, too often in these situations, you look at a game like this and say, well, the opposition didn't do this and they didn't do that. Well, how about just for once take a different tack? This YMP team has just played superbly in the first half. Instead of whinging about what so-and-so hasn't done, have a look at what YMP have done. And what they've done, for a start, is they've chased through and followed through on kicks ahead. They've enjoyed the better field position. Discipline's been pretty good from both teams. But, of course, if you're playing most of the game at that end, that's what's going to result. Tautavalu, frankly, it'd be a bit naughty to miss a conversion from here after you've done what he's done. Couple of tries. Don't mean to be hard on Tautavalu, but you'd come to expect that he could almost close his eyes, have his arm up behind his back and still kick it. Tautavalu, the form he's in. Tell you what, he's been MVP for YMP for the last 2 weeks. I think he's a pretty certain candidate to be YMP for a third, MVP for a third week in a row. He's converted here. I love the fact that our ARs take a second to check and reference each other before raising the flags. And at the moment, 26 points to 0. An amazing first half. 2 tries to Tautavalu and some amazing stuff. Tobias Horsfield, game is not over until it is over. But you would have to play very well with your OBM. In the second half, you'd have to produce an exceptional second half.
Definitely been in their first half. YMP showed that they were the better team in that half. Second half, for OBM's going to have to do some serious hits, and they're going to have to pick up the offense a little bit. But yeah, I've seen them do it before, so they might be able to do them again.
Well, the defending champions have tested them at the scrum. On the plus side for OBM, their line out at different times has been very good. They've shown some ability with the ball in hand. Of course, YMP played with the wind in the first half, and referee Holt talking to Ricky Tedekere at the halftime break. And I think that's a good thing for the game as well. If you have a query, wait till halftime, wait till a break, go to the referee, make your query, rather than stop the game endlessly throughout a half to ask him and nitpick about this and that. There's far too much of it in the modern game. Tedeke asks a genuine question, gets an answer, then gets on with the game. And I think that's what you need, really. But certainly, I can't imagine playing a better first half than the defending champions played, Tobias. There was very little that they didn't actually do.
Yeah, man, and it just shows that both teams had an awesome half. YMP definitely showing that that half was more dominant for them. Again, with also OBM, they've got heart. They've got a lot of heart. You've seen it in the forwards, and Niles and Blake. They're not willing to give up.
No, I've always been of the bent that you praise and acknowledge good play by the team leading, rather than criticise the team that's behind. And some of the tries that YMP has put on, there wouldn't be another team that could turn around, chase back and beat Tautavalu to the ball. There is nobody. If there was, you'd know it. So there wasn't very much you could do about those. And, you know, sometimes the ball bounces your way. There are other days on which you can't catch the ball. The line out, you know, things just fall apart horribly. We've all had those. But at the moment, sensational, 26 points to 0. Tautavalu missed one conversion, and that's about all they've done wrong, YMP. Been brilliant stuff. And now officials again, Ben Holt with Les Thomas out there with John Donnelly. 3 guys who've put a lot of time and effort into rugby. They train, they study the laws, they do their best, and we need more like them. You know, you've got to seriously love rugby to be out there. If you didn't, you wouldn't be out there, frankly. So at the moment, 26 points to 0. It's a long way back. Mind you, you can also look at it like this. If you're on top of the opposition by 26 points, could you afford to go to sleep? The answer to that is obviously not. You know, you certainly, if you go to sleep at this stage, you end up coughing it up or giving it away. YMP, though, with Shade Scudder, they'll keep their feet firmly on the floor. Kahu Tamatea has made a big difference to this team. I had a very good idea that Kahu Tamatea, like Brian Lynch, a softly spoken guy, a gentleman, not a yeller, not a screamer. doesn't need that. Pass up to Baird. Baird got the pass a little high. That's the reason he was taken up top. Was that Hayes that got him? Hayes is no, that wasn't Hayes that got him at all. It was the big blind side. That was Isaiah Leach. Ben Holt. Okay, that's Morris. Nice hands there. Naheem Emmanuel trying to get away from Leach. A model tackle. Oh, what tremendous rugby. Hayes Napier, the beneficiary. Tackle by Leach over there on Naheem Emmanuel, but Manuel doing well actually to get out of dodge. As now Braden Grant with boot to ball. Good hands all over the place. That was Totavalu with good hands. Calvin Smith. Now Leach away from Manuel, holds the ball. Good tackle there. That was Joe Tikasidre. Good play by Tikasidre there for OBM. Ball is on Scudder. Okay, YMP with the ball at halfway, looking right side. Leading at the moment by 26 points. Scored 26 points to 0. Week 5 of Civil Pro. Justin Allen, those guys respect each other. They've been through the wars. And they've been in the wars. Shade Scudder. He's given decades of service to the game he loves, to the national game. Rugby football. Throw to come YMP. I'm sure these lineouts are taking longer these days to set up than... Yeah, I can remember seeing some black and white footage where they used to bowl the ball in, cricket style. The wingers used to throw the ball in. That was a long time ago. Okay, this is a YMP ball. They tap, they run. So at the moment, 26 points to 0. And 4 tries. Okay, Miles Lardeli Mutawa trying to make an impression with a big tackle, but you've got to put the man on the ground. Some good hearty New Zealand rucking there. Rucking, of course, one of the lost arts of rugby.
A lot of words being shown between YMP and OBM.
No, it's a hard old business being a forward. Look at Blake Beard there, getting to his feet. But I like that from Blake Good, but he'll take the help he needs and no more of it.
Blake's had an awesome season, though.
Oh, he's... But some of this YMP crowd, that Hayes Napier, he is powerful.
Hayes is being a menace at the moment.
So is Nair Papuni. Quality rugby here today, and just a, to date, an incredible match effort from YMP. Simple as that.
Stay motion, boys, stay motion.
Okay, finding touch there, Tiao Morris. Doesn't find touch. Well, was looking for touch, gunning for it, didn't find it. And now looking to run. And now front football, momentum established. Here come YMP. That's Willis. Willis Tamatea.
That's a good run.
Very distinctive running style. Okay, over there on the right with big numbers there, YMP. Enormous numbers. They could have freed the ball up. Still 26 points to 0. Penalty here. I got the impression that the penalty was awarded for something that was said. Rawati Broughton.
Corner!
Rawati Broughton out there now. Now, Ra Broughton coming off the bench has also been an MVP. He was their MVP in week 2. Now they opt for the scrum here, YMP. They have big numbers over there on the right. Mitchell Purvis. Been the quiet organizer. Mitchell Purvis is a great friend of rugby during the week, does a lot of work with young players. It's a hard-working union, the staff. A lot of time and effort into rugby. See there, Te Pehe Fairley. He and Purvis at centre, of course. Calvin Smith, fantastic player at Gisborne Boys High School. So big scrum there. That was Leach, who was hit by Rokatui, we think. And that was Toa Tavalu, who's chased through on 2 kicks.
Wow, we just have that 5 minutes scrum.
That was a very soft whistle there from referee Holt. Now he's coming over to have a chat there to Assistant referee Donnelly. Assistant referee Donnelly's walking away. Okay, came over for a word.
5 minutes scrum. 5 minutes scrum. 5 minutes scrum.
Now this is something else.
RTM.
4 from 4. Both teams 4 from 4.
5 minutes scrum.
And I would say too that YMP's going to hang on to that unbeaten unless something changes pretty quickly. They're in a prime attacking position, 5 metres from the goal line. Taking a little while to set. Okay, Leach holds the ball up. YMP wanted to make good use of it. And that is another fantastic try, their 5th try. Well, YMP have had an amazing game today. They just seem to be getting better and better. It's now 31 points to 0, which is a huge score, especially at this stage of the game. Tobias, how many minutes have we had in this game? How many minutes have we played?
It's just getting past the 9th minute right now, Ben.
9th?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had 49 minutes. That means we've got 31 minutes to go. And this is something else. This is going to send a few shakes and rattles around the Premier grade. Some days you have a good day and bad day, but some of the other teams might be wondering what's in store for them. What's coming up, though every game is different. Toa Tavalu, who's had an amazing game. And as I said, 31 points to 0. Some days it goes for you, and this is just one of those days for the defending champions. Seth London on the field of play now, that's nice. See those guys on the bench that work really hard, and he doesn't have to take a backseat to anybody. 33-0. Seth London on the field of play now.
Gotta love the love from the crowd here, Ben.
Seth London will be on cloud 9 now. He gets onto the field. His team is 33-0 up. He can't wait to get his hands on the ball. He's obviously spent considerable time in the gym, and he is ready to go. 33-0. OBM going to have to start to push back here. Leach underneath it.
He's
Hayes, Napier, ball in hand. Truck without treads. Real big unit. Strong stuff. YMP carrying the ball well. YMP now with boot to ball. Ricky Tedekir getting back. Braden Grant. Braden Grant has it. Now he puts boot to ball and gets a good bounce. Very skillful play there, Braden Grant. He's not going to lose his head. He's an intelligent boy. And at the moment,
gotta love the crowd.
33-0. That was possibly the game's best kick in general play from Braden Grant, but 33-0, it's a big mountain to scale. Got to start somewhere, and winning your own line-out ball is probably what you have to do. 33-0 at the moment. No shortage of effort from the OBM boys. But, that's a great tackle by Rosari there on Leach. That's a wonderful tackle by Rosari. YMP able to chance their arm, and they can run the ball out from their own 22. When you're up 33-0, you can do what you want. 33-0. Although you'd also try and keep some shape at this stage. Wouldn't want to become loose. 33-0. YMP with the ball in hand. That's Willis. Nice pass back to Scudder. The captain has
still Leach.
The captain to Leach. Then back into Carpenter. Carpenter down there and a tremendous hit on him. That was Jale Tico making a good tackle. Here now is Willis.
Oh, get off me.
Okay. Ruling there a forward pass by our referee Holt. Ra Broughton out there. He'll bark orders. Jesse Carpenter. You know, when the passes stick, when guys run onto the ball, you may say it's the same for any team, but YMP in particular, when passes stick, they become extremely dangerous. 33 points to 0.
Yeah, then and just getting past 30 minutes in the second half right now, it's just holy.
Yeah.
Listen, Seth London's come on. Well, you put him with Andrew and you put him with Stuart Leach and you put him with Hayes as well when you got those three.
These are hard-working players. You know, they deserve their moment in the sun and they're experiencing it.
Yeah,
you couldn't have a better day as a player than the day they're having. 33-0. Okay. It was a clearer from Jordan Christie. Christie on the field of play now for Rokatui Wango. Emmanuel is still out here. I saw Miles Lardeli Muatawa go to the bench before.
Someone's on the ground over there, Ben.
Okay, well, she looks pretty rough.
Who is it?
It's not exactly a flower show at the moment. 33-0, loose ball situation. Harawira Kaukura doing his best. Good effort there from Justin Allen to tidy up. Here's Blake Baird, he'll run to the line. Ricky Tedek here, he frees it up.
Oh, unlucky!
Trying to get the pass out there to Tika Cedre. And the frustration of the OBM players is audible. Brian Faitini White, who was in the YMP team last year and on their reserves in the grand final winning team, now with OBM. He's a good citizen in any club, in any team, Brian. Good guy. And it can't be easy getting a run in such a great team. 33-0. Was 26-0 at halftime. One converted try since then. Seen some good rugby. Confidence. If I had to think of one word to define or one word to encapsulate YMP's performance today, Tobias, that'd be the word for me, confidence. They've been confident today.
Yeah, and it's been a really good showing from team, especially you can tell how confident YMP has been leading into this game because every time they get the ball, it's just like a big hit, or it's an offload, or it's a break, or it's going to be a try.
Yeah, it's been constructive rugby. Guys haven't just butted heads for the sake of butting heads. And as a matter of fact, I think it's quite nice they haven't butted heads at all. There's been a lot of respect shown by players out there for each other, for the opposition, but that hasn't made the hits any the gentler. 33-0. It's the long one. Brian Faitini White. Now to Tika Cedre, who can run. Has had so few opportunities, but is a player of promise. Okay, advantage here from referee Holt. That's Blake Baird. Tried to get down to pick the ball up, but the ground is just so far away. Sometimes that's how it feels. OBM Senior one side, making a huge effort out there against Ngarapa. Ngarapa winning that game 45-37. So Clint Petty and company with a really good effort, gutsy effort. Ngarapa obviously today was their day out there at Paddy's Park. Named, of course, for Paddy Wanklin, who took care of the ground for so long and with such distinction. You know, Braden Grant, even on a day like this where basically YMP have had just about everything you can think of their own way, Tobias, that one kick, that one kick here in the second half, so accurate. Such a good youngster.
Yeah, man, and that just shows what kind of a player Braden is. His dedication, and you know that his accuracy is good, and it showed from last week's game as well, and how Braden's kicking game was on point.
Yeah. You know, field position these days, in this half, has been a lot Better for OBM. That's a Braden Grant who's strong on his feet. Such a well-balanced athlete as well. Okay, penalty now OBM midfield. Ngahiwi Manuel transfer. Now what's Blake Bear going to do? Well, what was Blake Bear going to do? We'll never know. Law unto himself.
I think I'm going to take the kick.
Scrum. Okay, well, this is what YMP did at the other end, mind you, at the time. I think they were 26 points to 0 up, so it's a little bit different, but yeah. Look, this today, YMP guys, been no shortage of effort, no lack of commitment out there. Been very committed, had every reason to come out here and play top-tier rugby. Just today, YMP have just been sensational, simple as that. Didn't do anything wrong. YMP just did just about everything right. 33 points to 0. Jordan Christie fed the scrum. Okay, and it's a tight end here. And Leach has the ball on the tight end. Leach for support.
Oh, still it's away.
Money for support. Oh, got it here. YMP, a tight head. That might be their third today. It could be their fourth. London chasing through on the kick. OBM trying to get something out of this. Okay, and try OBM. They have got something out of this. They have come up with something that they desperately needed.
Their breakaway from their breakaway
was
from
that Lance
Stewart.
Dixon, was it?
I think it was, Ben. That run from Stewart straight up to that scrum. Yeah. Oh, Ben.
Oh, man. Just what they did there, the tight end, their power and presence at the scrum. Trying to pick up who was who. 33-0, 38-0, and can hear some of the young Māori Party players saying it came down to the scrum. Well, absolutely it did. A tight end, you're never prepared for that as an opposition. When that happens, you have to turn around, you're chasing your tail. And all of a sudden, Leach comes up with a good pass. Unbelievable, 38 points to 0. That is brilliant rugby, it is. Hats off. And again, rather than, well, OBM weren't prepared or whatever, it was just a tremendous push and got the ball. 38-0, this for 40. Here is Toa Tavalu. The chase is a good, honest chase. They forced the kick wide. 38-0.
Unlucky kick.
Toa Tavalu shrugs his shoulders. I've seen Toa Tavalu around the place. I've seen him running the streets. I've seen him working on his fitness and putting in the extra hours, putting in the yards. These guys deserve their success. You can't play this well and be leading by this margin unless you're physically fit. And they're fit. 38-0. 38-0.
Oh, it's the kick.
Up by Morris. Underneath it, that looked to be Hayes, looked to be Willis.
Oh.
But it didn't fall to Hayes and it didn't fall to Willis. Okay, Ben Holt watches OBM drive the ball up. Okay, they took the ball in. This is now YMP ball. 38 points to 0.
Just under 20 minutes left in this half, Ben. It's gone past the 61st minute.
James Grogan out there now. His brother Willie was a co-captain of OBM from memory when they won the Lee Brothers Shield. He and Jacob Cook from memory. My memory's not what it used to be. 38-0. Keanu Taumata's been honest, toiled hard. One of the things about Keanu Taumata, he's often buried at the tight. If you don't hear his name mentioned that often, it's because he's one of those forwards who works really, really hard in and around the ball, doesn't go seeking glory. But the guys who play with and against him know how good he is. Okay, that's Christie trying to get at YMP's ball. Now Purvis on the run. Purvis on the halfway. Purvis makes 10 metres, gets 10 metres over half and is brought down hard.
at the moment, 38-0. Brian Fighty-White. Can he save the day, Brian Fighty-White? Only man back. He got back, though. He needed to. He was the Lone Ranger.
Oh, that's another one.
43. 43-0. Was it Willis? No. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It must have been Jesse Rye. Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. 43-0. This is a top-of-the-table clash. And YMP have blown it apart here, 43-0. I would respectfully suggest that this is a once-in-a-season performance. Maybe bigger scores, maybe less scores to come. But one thing's for sure, to play this well, nobody has before so far this season. And don't know if anybody else will since or afterwards. 43-0. Credible. 7 tries, 4 conversions, 43, 45.
Oh.
45-0, and YMP sound as if they were only just getting started. 45-0. What an incredible showing by the defending champions. This crowd are here, and they're here for some time to come. They have been pretty good in the last few years, and they look as if they're going to be better than pretty good for a long time yet. OBM will be looking now for 1 try, get something on the board, and finish this game the way that they want to start in week 6. That's what matters. You've got to play to the whistle. You cannot give up. You can't afford really to get loose, whether you're up by 40, 45 or you're down by 45. Got to play hard. Okay, restart there by Morris. Has it gone out on the full? That's a tough one.
What do you do, Ben? What do you do for OBM right now?
That there would honestly be one of the very few unforced errors that I've seen from OBM. And, you know, you can't really nitpick on that and say, we'll change that next week. It's the only time it's happened. But certainly making first-up tackles, the scrum obviously is an area that they would want to address, having conceded tight ends to this YMP pack. This YMP pack is big and strong. YMP's, or rather OBM's pack is very big and very strong, but today they have certainly scrummaged excellently. YMP starts with the front row, starts with Napier, Pooney, Shade Scudder, Hayes Napier and company. And everyone else, look, I mean, that's a pretty strong platform there, but they're penalised by referee Holt. One of very few scrum penalties that he's had to issue today. Now YMP for the first time. That's the only time today too that I can remember YMP being penalised and marched for talking back to the referee.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to do then, especially this thing into the game.
No. Well, knowing Kau Tamatea as I do, what Kau Tamatea will do is say to his guys, hey, you did this well, this was really good, but these are 1 or 2 things that we can correct. Whatever a coach like Kau Tamatea says to you, it's constructive, you know what I mean? He's the same as Dylan Dolman Tuho for OBM. If he says something, it's sensible. Guys are down to earth. They don't get too carried away with their success or when they have a bad one. And today's been a tough one. Okay, again, Harawira Kokura, very good at the line out. His line out play and the relationship obviously he has with his lifters has been pretty good today. Good play here from OBM. Look, body crowd surfing there. That was Willis.
They're pushing.
Trying to get at the ball. Is it Blake Beard getting in behind them? They'll need big bodies.
Oh, that's Tedekia with the ball.
Ricky Tedekia. He's ruled a penalty try. Well, I wonder. They seem to be further away from the goal line than is usual. But as you know, the referee is the sole judge of law, fact, and time. Of course, the conversion is taken as read these days. You don't have to kick the conversion on a penalty try. So 45 points to 7. OBM can take as concrete Tobias, what can they take out of this game so far in the second half? A strong drive on the goal line in the second half, resulting in a penalty try. So that's something real that they can take out of it.
Yeah, Ben, and you can just tell that OBM is still in this. Don't rule them out yet. You've still got 23 minutes left in this game, Ben, left in this half. And believe me, and I think that OBM could possibly try and come back from this.
They can but try. That's what they're going to look to do. Seth London.
Oh.
Seth London powerfully there. Did well, but support was a long time arriving. You know, to be honest, that would be one of the... That's the only time today that I can remember a YMP player being isolated, and that's the cause of the turnover. That hasn't happened that often either. What's happening here? Referee Holt checking on an OBM player to make sure he's ship-shape. Seth London, very strong player, but you could see that he'd gone down in the tackle. He was waiting for support, and that support really did take a little while to arrive. Okay, and OBM fine touch. Okay, Ra Broughton. Big guy, well, I was given Jordan Birch in 18, and that ain't Jordan Birch. Willis in the middle of the line out. He's at 3. Now he's at 4.
Structure.
OBM to throw. Well, this is taking, to be honest, this is taking a little while. Okay, Kokuda with a nice take again. He's been exceptional, Brian. 5-3 White. OBM ball in hand. Blackbeard getting the halfway.
Ball for.
He is hearty. He is hearty, Blackbeard. Brian 5-3 White with a long pass.
Oh.
OBM throwing the long pass as you have to do with what's happening here now. Players stopped. One thing about Blake Beard, he will carry the ball to anyone. Sometimes you worry about how much of a pounding these young guys can take. Certainly not lacking for courage, but running the ball up at these ball units. Got to be hazardous to your health.
All right, Ben, so we're in the 70th minute right now.
How many have we played?
We're in the 70th minute.
Okay. Big scrum now from OBM. Scrum better. Brian 5-3 White with a pass to Morris, who looked to tap it. Goes the long one, and it's been called for there by referee Holt. But playing advantage here, and in a moment you'll see why the advantage was being played. What's he going to rule here, referee Holt? He's playing advantage, but we wonder for what. Morris. OBM in this last little while. The line-out's been pretty good the whole way through, and the scrum better lately. And I suppose for OBM this would be a reality check for the boys to say, okay, we'd won 4 in a row. And then we ran into YMP, and for YMP, Ko Tamatea would still be conscious of the need to try and keep these guys level. OBM's line-out has been exceptional. Brian 5-3 White. Good strong running here from OBM now. They're carrying the ball better. They're looking better. They're playing better rugby. They're penalised here by referee Holt. They held on to the ball. And that is an area in which, as a referee today, has been very consistent. If you hang on to it, bang. Been the same for both teams. I've seen some very good touch found today too. Guys taking line kicks.
Definitely, Ben. The amount of the good amount of accuracy that I've seen today from both teams is just impeccable.
Those guys operating with the wind have made good use of the wind today. Certainly Calvin Smith did in the first half and Braden Grant in the second half. OBM look as if they're playing with some more urgency now.
Yeah, definitely after getting that penalty try, then it's just showing.
Okay, nice win there by Willis. Expert line out forward. Right,
Ricky Tedikia.
YMP would be a bit disappointed with that. They played so well and the big guys wanting to make their presence felt. OBM rushing towards halfway. Christie with a short one. So on the field of play now is hand on it. Ben Holt. Ball there is the knock on. Guys out there now showing signs of wear, unsurprisingly. Game's been played at a good clip and been very physical. I've enjoyed the player Leach, you know, Stu Leach. He plays the game as hard as anybody, but you don't see any nonsense out of Stu Leach. He just plays hard, simple as that. Doesn't complain. As with her late majesty. Don't complain and never explain. Look at Grogan tap. That doesn't, obviously that's not going to count. Tap the ball back. Jordan Christie.
Come blind, Green. Come blind, Green. Your way.
45-7.
Come blind. See what else she's got.
Keanu Tomata.
Come blind, mate. Come
Keanu
Got like the
Tomata.
banter between the crowd and the teams.
Always going to have that fun interaction. Okay, that's Jordan Christie. Pass away. OBM round about 10 short of halfway. Wanting to run hard, come up with something, produce something. Got a penalty try to show for it. Had a good drive at the line. Look at that, that's a strong tackle there. Good old-fashioned body slam. OBM coming up with a couple of big tackles as the clock winds down. 45 points to 7.
Here comes Stewart.
Leach has it, pushes Justin Allen away. Not an easy guy to brush off. Okay, and back out deep. YMP. Tackle made there by Kokuna. Ra Broughton with numbers up. Ball tapped down by Ricky Tedikia. Penalty now, OBM. Okay, the arm went the wrong way. Then he corrected the decision there, referee Holt. And now YMP.
Oh, that was a big hit.
Referee Holt made the right decision. His arm just went up the wrong way. That's all. I wonder how often that happens, to be honest, Tobias. You blow the whistle, but the wrong arm goes up. You think that happens very often?
Yeah, then I don't think it's intentional.
No, more often than they'd admit. Good fun, though, 45-7. If you can't have a laugh, there's no point being at rugby. 45 points to 7. 38-point game. Kokuna, man,
lovely.
as a line-out forward goes today, he's been the best, I'd say. He's won more ball than anyone else. That's George Hooper there, roll there. Monkey roll. These are guys, they put hands on you. Coming through there was Hohepa Hakopa. Some big guys that can run hard. Oh, I was given Jordan Birch in 18. That's not Jordan Birch. Oh, that's Calvin Smith. Stepping back off the right foot. 45 points to 7, don't forget. 38 points in it. Well, that was meant to be a kick. It was meant to be a kick. What exactly it was, we'll never know. 45 points to 7. 38-point margin, as I said. Half-time was 26 points to 0. Okay. No, he's ruled penalty. That was a big whistle blast. 45 points. That's Ra Broughton. Taps gets it up. 45 points to 7. 38 points in it. An incredible win in the offing there, Leach, man. They're not going to let him do much more. No matter who else is doing what, they're not going to let Leach score, obviously. 45 points. 38. It's rugged. Is that Scudder? It looks to be a Shade Scudder. 45.
That defense.
And guys folding up there, man. That's a... It's some rough. That's our leash there. Coming in hard.
It's in there.
And penalty now, YMP. It's not going to be easy to hold YMP out here. They're up by, well, 38 points. They're up by 38. They've got 45 points.
And that's another try.
And they have another try. And this has been big stuff today for 50. 50 points to 7. 50 points to 7. 43 points in it. This is something else today by YMP. I would imagine that this is the highest score in a 1 versus 2. Certainly that I can remember for a very long time. I can remember scores like this, of course I can, but not between teams 1 and 2. Just a brilliant day for YMP Rugby. And, you know, to be honest, it's a club where people have worked very hard in the last few years and they've been successful. What have they been successful in doing? Providing teams for their kids to play for, their kids, their grandkids. Well, they've done it. These guys have maintained a high tempo today, and you can't do that unless you're fit. And you don't get fit at team training. If that's going to happen, it's got to be done individually. Look at the good chase, still on from OBM. Okay, and the conversion attempt is successful, so it's 52 points to 7. And the enthusiasm that you want too. Calvin Smith comes back. He took the shot. He made the shot. Guys running back, you know, over the 10-metre mark. Not back over halfway, obviously, but you've got to be back 10 metres, and they've done that. Seth London, look at him right in the middle there. These guys are enthusiastic. They're passionate about their rugby. You can feel it. No question about it. 52 points to 7. Okay.
And we just
that's some inventive, constructive play by OBM, trying to come up with something, as you do, with a scoreline like this.
Yeah, Ben, we're just literally over a minute left.
Yeah. Guys are busy scraping themselves up, but they wear a jersey. For some, it's black and white. For others, it's red, white, and blue. One thing's for sure, it's got mud on it. The game's been hard today. A few damp spots on the field. But Barry Park, as I said, is in as good nick this year as I've seen it for very many years.
Big scrum needed.
Yeah. Now this scrum, frankly, is an important one because
this could be the last scrum of the game.
YMP have shown that they can score. Off opposition, scrum ball and down the middle to Pehi Fairley. To Pehi Fairley, got up, tried to release the ball. 52 points to 7. That's what you want to see. Look at that by Shade Scudder, picking up an opponent. Coming after putting that opponent down pretty hard on the floor, but 52 points to 7. What a wonderful thing it is to be able to see rugby played as hard as you can, but with respect for the opposition. Shows that these individuals from both teams, I mean, they've matured greatly. They've become a credit. Look at Purvis there running over to the other side, well, hobbling. Looks as if he's feeling it a little. He's played a good game though, Mitch. OBM with a scrum feed at halfway. The backs are setting themselves to prepare for a big push by YMP on OBM ball. That is a little bit of a push. Balls there on the ground. Penalty, and referee Holt was right there. They've argued with referee Holt and been taken back another 10 metres. He's made his position plain. Never forget, as a player, you can ask what the decision is, but as for actually changing it or disputing it, well, you can't change it or dispute it. These referees here, these Poverty Bay rugby referees, good lads that they are not going to reverse decision just because somebody's not pleased with it. Fine touch there, OBM. Now, their line-out's been so good today that they should be able to win the ball here and press for a second try. Have one penalty try. YMP fans, Tobias, I'd imagine they have to be happy with this. I wouldn't want to hear people saying, oh, you didn't do this or that. I'd get pretty annoyed. They've been very good. Definitely been, and it's definitely good to see that everyone's supporting here for both teams, not just YMP, but both teams. The support has just been on another level today, Ben. You must have enjoyed the little bit of local colour we had earlier. Oh, God, I love that, Ben. I've got a name for that sort of support. Those sorts of supporters, we call them minstrels. You know, they tune out the good music. Good stuff. That's Brian Faitiri White ruling here from referee Holt, penalty. Okay, Jordan, long pass. Trying to find guys asleep. Not easy because YMP's been right on the ball with pretty much everything today. OBM not giving up though, showing good spirit. Showing fighting spirit. Look at Morris there. Small though he is. Brave as you've ever seen. OBM. Here's Justin Allen with a big surge. Justin Allen trying to get through. And when he gets some steam up, he takes some stopping. Here's Ricky Tedekia, hit so hard. Lost the ball forward. And they must have hit him with everything like a Mack truck because he doesn't lose the ball there very often. They are going to tap and run here or scrum, or what are they going to do? Okay, Ricky Tedekia gets the ball up on a 19, James Grogan. Got a touch there. One or two numbers are missing now. OBM, Ricky Tedekia, no, it's Christie. Brian Faitiri White on the inside. Oh no, and they've turned it over. Had an opportunity there, George Hooper. One of his very few mistakes today. Brian Faitiri White and company. Oh, here he comes, Braden Grant. There to save it. Braden Grant does well. Splits YMP. Now one hand and holds on to it. Mitch Purvis there got over the ball. Well, that's Mitch Purvis. And very good rugby there from Mitch Purvis, the YMP centre, getting over the top of the ball. Braden Grant with a last desperate effort. And today with an incredible scoreline, 52-7, a tremendous effort by East Coast Farm Vets YMP. Tobias Horsfield, this today was their dream come true. Yeah, Ben, and as I said at the start of the game, I was really excited to see some big hits, and not a slow game. Definitely was not a slow game, Ben. You had all of the animosity coming from the first half, and the support and the banter from the crowd eagering that game on. That's what made it very, very fun, a very fun game for me today. To play that well this early in the season, and also remember this is 1 versus 2. Both teams going into this game had won 4 from 4. YMP 20 points, OBM 20 points going into this game, and they have come up today, YMP. Today they were on another planet, not just to OBM, but they're on a different planet, I'd imagine, to just about everybody, because that's an amazing thing, 52 points to 7. Yeah, man, and it's just showing from the start. YMP just showed that they were the better team at the end of the game. Doesn't mean that there's nothing up for OBM. OBM definitely showed good grit and determination to stay in the game, and they did. They ended up gaining a try. Their defence was on another level today. But yeah, OBM should not be feeling like anything but happy for this game. Like, well, definitely proud of them. You look at this on the one hand, you'd say it's one game, and it is one game, but the momentum that YMP have now is something else, because they just did everything. Their backs handled well, their forwards won scrum ball, they won line-out ball, they made hard tackles, they did a great number of things, they did them all very well, and as Shade Scudder showed, he's a class act towards the end of that game, picking OBM opponents up. He knows what a tough one they've had. They showed respect to the opposition throughout. I think that's very important, and that says something about the culture of their club, and they're good people, because bad people don't pick you up. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's just all about that support and all that, and that's what it showed today. To referee Holt and his assistants, the venerable Les Thomas and John Donnelly, they had a very good game as well. When we say that the referees weren't a factor, that's not to say that they didn't do anything or contribute to the game. What it means is that YMP achieved this scoreline by virtue of their good play and for no other reason. One or two calls didn't thrill everybody from both teams, but that had nothing to do with the 52 points to 7. From memory, it was 26-0 at half-time, a performance that YMP can be rightly proud of, and one that OBM look at and say, hey, we're not going to dream up good things, but we did squeeze them hard enough, get close enough to force the issue on a penalty try. Harawira Kaukura, with a tremendous effort at the line out today, likes of Blake Baird, who are carrying as hard towards the end of the game as he did at the start of the game, and it's just been that sort of a game for YMP. They'd be pinching themselves a bit, did that really just happen? And I can understand why, because these sorts of things don't happen for a player very often. It didn't happen for some of us. And yeah, well, 52 points to 7.
Yeah, man, and it's definitely been a good game. Like just those things when you were talking about with Blake, and then all of the big hits that you have from Hayes, and then Andrew Tutavalu as well. Don't get me wrong about him. Just YMP's got their team just on a whole different level this year, Ben. Really, really excited to see what's on for them in the future, and OBM as well.
Well, here just signing off. On behalf of Tobias and I, just like to say that we've enjoyed the game here at Barry Park. Frankly, we enjoy every single game where it doesn't rain. Because when it doesn't rain, that's a good game. And the efforts that our cameramen make, let me tell you, they make a wonderful effort. They do every week. And to see them develop in the course of their careers in the media, it's going to be interesting. We've enjoyed ourselves. We'll let you go.
Yeah, big ups to our cameraman Vela today.